Mike, you ready? Well, we're here to discuss the storm. It's not named yet, correct?
Yes, Charlotte.
Charlotte. We're here to discuss Charlotte. It is named. Our EOC that we're in now, making preparations, will be activated at 12 noon tomorrow to deal with the storm Charlotte. Public Works will explain the equipment that is being activated and readied. Emergency operation will talk about the shelters and the preparation, and the chiefs will talk about the efforts that our uniformed services are preparing for. But we are declaring a snow emergency as of 5 p.m. tomorrow evening. This is going to be a major storm by all appearances, and we have to take every precaution we possibly can to keep everyone safe. We are, during a snow emergency, asking people to observe, as we always do, the alternate side of the street parking. The streets are all marked with signs with red letters which list it as a snow street, which even gets more attention. And the chief will tell you how we're out making preparations to clear those streets right now. Vehicles that are left on snow emergency streets after the ban goes into effect will be subject to fine and towing. So we're asking everybody to comply with that right off the bat, because we don't want to have to tow cars, but we do have to keep everyone safe. So during the snow emergency, those snow emergency streets have to be cleared. We need everybody's cooperation to get through this. This is going to be another difficult storm, and certainly the citizens of Bridgeport have risen to the occasion, unfortunately all too frequently because of these severe weather events, and we've handled it without any loss of life to date, and that is our goal, to get through this storm as we have gotten through all the others without any loss of life or any serious loss to property. Obviously, we have to remind everyone who has a sidewalk in front of their house, they need to shovel it. It's your responsibility to clear the sidewalk. No one is going to come and clear the sidewalk for you. You've got to clear your own sidewalk, and if you can't do it yourself, find a neighbor who can help you. There's lots of kids who need the work. We also need to ask you if you have a fire hydrant near your property. Please shovel it out. If you can't, please find somebody on your street that can shovel it out. We anticipate, because of the high winds, that there will be damage to trees and there will be drifting of snow. And when there's drifting of snow, sometimes hydrants are under a large amount of snow because of the drift, and that delays the firefighters' ability to put the fires out if they occur. So please shovel them out. During the storm, residents may call 576-1311 with snow plowing concerns. If we miss your street by any chance, we're pretty thorough, but if we do, we want you to tell us about it. These things do happen. Please let us know, or you can put in a request through Be Connected on your smartphone or on your computer. And if you go to the city website, which is bridgeportct.gov, you can also get to Be Connected that way. And I will tell you that it was incredibly effective during the last storms for people to be able to report to Public Works, Fire and Police, and Board of Ed through Be Connected. It's very important. Anyone who has a smartphone should download this free app so they can continue to give us information. The citizens, I want to repeat, have been tremendously helpful to all the professionals here gathered behind me through all these very difficult weather events. And we've been able to improve our level of service because of the information that we get from the citizens through Be Connected. It's very important. There's also a special, I'd also encourage people to follow me on Twitter, because myself and the staff all Twitter through the account at Mayor Bill Finch, all one word, Mayor Bill Finch, at Mayor Bill Finch on Twitter, and we give out very frequent updates and communiques to the citizenry that way. You can also follow on Facebook, where we will be posting we'll be posting longer things on Facebook that you can't Twitter, although we will link it via Twitter to the longer documents on the website. We are going to also have two schools, no, several schools, right? How many schools are we going to have that are, for the parking?
The list is on the website.
The list for parking, when the snow emergency is declared, you need to put your car somewhere. So we've got the Board of Ed making ready about 10 school parking lots, and those are listed on the website. And those were very helpful. Hall School, Central High School, and others were very actively used last time, and that allowed people to get their cars off the street so that we can plow the road. If you leave your car on the street, we can't plow where your car is. I know this is surprising to some people, but if you leave your car on the street, the plow can't plow. We're going to plow your car in, and you're not going to like it. Get your car off the street, especially if it's a snow emergency street, and alternate side of the street parking will be in effect through this emergency, as it is always. There are two schools that we've designated as emergency shelters, should that be required. We are prepared to open Geraldine Johnson and Cesar Batalla, and others if necessary, but those two are being readied and are ready now. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Rooney, who's going to give us precautionary advice in terms of the fire department, and then Joe Gaudette will talk about the police department, then Charles Carroll and Scott Appleby will talk about other preparations. Chief Rooney?
Thank you, Mayor. I think you hit on quite a few serious points that I was going to mention. Of course, one of them is the fire hydrants. If you happen to have one on your street or in front of your house, please make sure that you get it cleared as soon as possible. It's quite difficult for us to see them as we're going down the road, as well as when the snowplow comes by. Sometimes, unfortunately, they'll cover it as well. So please, if you can, help us out here and get that fire hydrant cleared so we can see it. Another issue that I'm very concerned about when we have storms like this and we lose power, there's an awful lot of people that are using generators, okay? They're running to Home Depot, they're getting these generators, and they're hooking them up to their house. And one of the problems that we've seen over the years is sometimes the people they use the generator, they have it in their basement, they have it in a breezeway, they put it in their garage, which is definitely something you will never want to do. The carbon monoxide fumes will creep up on you, make you very ill, and it could kill you. When we have a storm that we're thinking about that's coming to us on Friday and Saturday, and it's snowing heavy out, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be reluctant to put their generator outside, or they're going to be afraid that a snow drift is going to cover it. Well, you're just going to have to keep it out there and every now and then move the snow away from it. But don't put it close to your house. Don't keep it near any window that might be open. So that's one thing I want everyone to understand. And if you know anyone that has a generator and they're using them, a friend, a family member, a neighbor, if you can, just remind them of it, because sometimes people forget, okay? So we don't want that to happen. The other thing that's very important as well is we want to try to keep the streets cleared as much as possible. So if we can honor the alternate side street parking, that really helps the fire department immensely, because now we can get down the street a lot easier in case there is an emergency. And we're out there in the storm, we're doing medical calls, we're doing lockouts, and of course occasionally a fire here and there, and we want to make sure we can get to it. So we need your help during a storm like this. We can't do it ourselves. We're pretty well prepared for it. We have all our chains ready to go on our vehicles. We're anticipating the worst, okay? We're planning for the worst. However, we're not sure where it's going to go. We'll be in close contact with Scott Appleby in the Emergency Operations Center throughout the day on Friday and Saturday evening. And any updates that we have to do for our department, that's what we'll be doing according to the way the storm is hitting us. So with that, I'm going to have Chief Gaudette. He's going to explain what the police department is doing, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Before the chief comes up, we do want to introduce everybody here. I neglected to do that. Chief Gaudette, our superintendent, our chief of police, Bobby Kennedy, who's the deputy director of public works, Scott Appleby, our director of the Emergency Operations Center, Charles Carroll, director of public facilities, Chief Rooney, and myself. The website is bridgeport.gov/BridgeportSnow. BPT Snow, excuse me. Bridgeport, Connecticut, all spelled out, .gov, BPT Snow, /BPT Snow. That will get you directly to all of the documents regarding what parking lots and where the snow emergency streets are, as well as the EOC tips and the fire department and police department tips. The schools are Bassick High School and Central High School, Cesar Batalla School, Park City Magnet, JFK Campus, Barnum Waltersville Campus, Blackham School, Whittier School, Jetty Tisdale School, and Munoz Marin School. Those are the schools that the parking lots are open for the public to use. In addition to that, the Bridgeport Bluefish lot, the North End Library, Veterans Park, the municipal lot near Ash Creek, Health Department at 752 East Main, the lot at the former Waltersville School in the east side, the Achievement First Old Barnum School lot, we thank them, under Route 825 overpass in the Hollow, and 1700 Park Avenue. So there is ample parking for everybody who needs to move their car from the snow emergency route to park their car. If you didn't catch those at our good friends from Doing It Local or the Connecticut Post, you can go to our website. Chief Gaudette?
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd just like to take this opportunity to remind folks that when the snow emergency is in effect, that there is no parking on these clearly marked snow emergency streets. There are several throughout the city. If you're not sure where they are, please consult the website. But again, they're very clearly marked with signs. And we will be enforcing that effective tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Also, alternate side of the street parking is in effect during a snow emergency on every other street within the city other than those snow emergency routes. So not to be confusing, if you're on a snow emergency route, there is no parking on that street. If any other street, you're supposed to be parking on alternate side of the street, and that means if it's an even day, you should park on the even side of the street. If it's an odd day, you should park on the odd side of the street. Our officers are out currently patrolling the areas, clearing the snow emergency routes, and they will continue to be out there. We will tow vehicles if necessary, and then those vehicles will be subject to a towing fee as well as any storage fees associated with that. So we're asking people to please park in the alternate parking lots that the city is making available so that they don't incur any extra fines as a result of parking illegally. Our officers will be out in force over the weekend. We're asking people that during the storm they not travel unless it's absolutely necessary. Staying off the roads to keep the roads clear for our public works crews and our emergency crews is the right way to go, and it'll be easier for folks to move around once the storm is over. Thank you.
And, you know, it goes without saying, the snow emergency routes are important because we've given it a lot of thought. We need to get ambulances in, we need to get people to the hospital, we need to move people out of an area where it's dangerous, that kind of thing. We've given a lot of thought to this. These are not things we're doing just to keep ourselves happy. These are things to keep everybody safe. We have to be, the snow emergency streets are incredibly important. Get off the snow emergency streets. Your car unfortunately will be towed if you don't do it, but it's important. Very, very important. We're talking about a lot of snow possibly, and we still have to keep the hospitals open and people safe. Bobby Kennedy's going to talk about how many vehicles he's got on the road. Bobby?
Well, we have about 68 pieces of equipment that will be out in force to plow sand and haul snow probably after the storm has stopped. This happens to be trucks, it's payloaders, backhoes, bobcats, all of this equipment and pickup trucks that we'll be utilizing to move the snow and get it plowed. But as we've said, with this equipment, we cannot do anything, no matter how much equipment we have, if you stay out there on the street, if you park your cars in the way, anything like that, we can't do anything. So we're asking that you please move your cars off the street, park into the lots that's been made available for you. And also, as we are plowing the streets, please do not throw any into the snow back into the streets. People who wants to driveway parking, stay home in this emergency. Let us finish doing what we have to do, and then you'll be able to clear your driveway, and we can get everything done that we need to have done.
And when the roads are plowed, don't put your snow back out in the street because we already plowed it.
Yeah.
Scott?
Thanks, Mayor. The Emergency Operations Center, as the mayor indicated, will be activated tomorrow at noon. We will have our necessary departments and outside stakeholders here present to assist the incident commanders at any point in time of the emergency. What you're seeing now on the screen is actually the storm moving up the coastline. That's one low pressure system. The other one will be connecting with that, and based on their scenarios will obviously impact us with the intensified portion of the storm, looking more around the 7 o'clock time frame, anywhere between 6 and 9 o'clock, but they're really looking at the storm to intensify 7 o'clock at night on Friday and into the early morning hours on Saturday. We, as the mayor indicated, our mass care operations are in full effect. Our strategies are in place in the event that we need to open up shelters or need to evacuate folks to those locations. We're working very closely with our public and our community to help ensure that their preparedness is the number one effort they're taking right now, as well as working closely with those vulnerable populations to assure that they're safe and secure during this time. We do ask that people, do call that 576-1311 to alert us of any incidents or any things that they may need assistance for if they're looking for questions and some answers from the Emergency Operations Center. But we are prepared and ready to go for the storm.
And Scott, as always, will have this room humming tomorrow around noon. So, Charles Carroll?
Thank you, Mayor. I think most of the public facilities has been covered. We also have been in contact with the utility companies. We will be working closely with them as weather permits during outages to help them with clearing streets and trees and whatnot. I think the biggest thing I could impress upon everybody, what they're predicting tomorrow night is to be whiteout areas, and if that occurs, we will not have snowplows on the street during those times either, for the safety of our employees and for the public. So the best thing everybody can do is please get everything done today, early tomorrow, and stay off of the roads. That would be a great help to us. It'll help us get the streets cleared much quicker. Thanks, Mayor.
Any questions? Mike?
What time are you opening the temporary lots, parking lots?
Well, I think they'll be available as soon as school's cleared. So depending on the discharge time, if it's the regular time, the lots will be available, all the lots will be available by 3:30, because the personnel will be gone by then. If school is dismissed earlier, then of course they could be available earlier.
Certainly by 5, they'll be done.
By 5 o'clock, when the emergency is declared, they'll be available. But if people need to do it a little earlier, there's going to be plenty of capacity. I wouldn't direct them there before 5 unless they had to be there.
And how much snow are we expecting for Bridgeport?
Scott?
Right now, we've been in 3 conference calls with the National Weather Service. Their determination is anywhere between 13 and 17 inches. As far as any coastal flooding, it'll be minor. The tides,
You
it'll
can
be,
show them
yeah, the tide, well,
oh, the tides aren't there.
yeah, the tide chart, we're really looking at probably at 11 o'clock at night on Friday, which the tides will range up to about 8 to 9 feet, which to us is pretty much to the immediate coast. You won't see the flooding as we saw during Sandy. That was more of the 10 plus or 12 plus surge. We are, like Charlie had indicated, we are anticipating heavy winds. Sustained winds of 25 to 35 miles per hour, gust up to 50. If that occurs with the amount of snow that they're calling for, again, that's your blizzard conditions, and that's where the whiteouts and the drifts. So, we just ask people to take caution, especially when driving, or if even venturing outside of their own home, because if there is a drift, you don't know how deep that drift is.
Mike, all our phones when we were out there in the lobby went off at the same time. We've never gotten these warnings before. I don't know what that means, but National Weather Service at around 4 this afternoon sent us all out an emergency alert that said blizzard warning this area till 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Saturday. Prepare, avoid travel, check media, National Weather Service's emergency alert. They're around 4 today. So we're taking this pretty serious.
But you're going to start the day with school scheduled out.
They're talking rain at this point till 5 o'clock, so hopefully They keep sending us more warnings. Storm force warning, coastal flood warning, at 6 PM tomorrow until midnight. That's it.
Yeah, we're all getting it.
We're all getting it.
Singing the blues.
I think the thing, Mike, is, tomorrow it's supposed to start off with light precipitation anytime after midnight to about 4 AM. We're going to, keep monitor it from the EOC throughout that time frame and, work closely with the Board of Ed. As the mayor indicated, at this time, from all the conference calls that we've been a part of, they're indicating the worst of the storm, or the changeover from rain to snow to basically occur anytime between 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock. So if that changeover occurs earlier, hopefully, businesses will be closing up, letting folks home early, and, that'll be more of a good accurate, based on a more accurate forecast of what the storm's actually doing. But between 4 and 7 is really supposed to be the changeover around our area for the snow.